Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Tevora Talks. I am your host, Cash, joined as always by my co-host and partner in cybercrime, Matt Mosley. How you doing, Matt? What day is it?
I don't know, but I'm melting. It's freaking hot.
Is it hot?
Yeah.
How hot?
Well, in the Pacific Northwest, where we average, I don't know, rain. It's like 95 yesterday, and I think it's like 90 today.
What? 90s? That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so different down here. I mean, OC is about 66 degrees right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I'm dying. So, and then I'm sitting in a room, confined space with monitors up the yin yang, and my computers are going super hot.
You have like the exhaust fan of your computer like blowing on your thighs.
Yeah, I got a laptop, I got the server, I got a freaking tower. Yeah.
It's getting hot in here.
4 monitors, not including my laptop.
That's fine. Well, nice. Add to your heat. I mean, the good thing is you don't need a sauna. You just go into your office.
Right. And F Mother Nature. I mean,
yeah, like what? Your carbon footprint is probably like near zero. Yeah. So good for you.
Exactly.
But as the world is heating up, you like my segues?
Yeah.
They're good, right? As the world is heating up, guess what else is heating up in the cyber world? There's just a lot of stuff going on this past week. There's, of course, every list has the top of the list is
ransomware.
I'd say.
Yeah.
And there's some new good stuff there.
Yeah, now it's like infecting backups, and I shouldn't say now, but
no, now it's like definitely going after backups
and triple extortions.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this has always been a thing, but people paying and not getting the decryptor, or the decryptor doesn't work, which is like every time, in my opinion. Like it works, but it not fully works.
Yeah, it works-ish, Yeah. It doesn't 100% work.
That's like that one case we had where they triple and quadruple encrypt stuff. You remember that? And you had to run the decryptor tool multiple times until you got it decrypted. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. It was interesting. It was, I don't know where the break was, because the way the file worked, I remember that tool, right? The way the initial encryption worked, it found the file, it encrypted it, and it changed the extension.
Yep.
Whatever it was. And then that's it. It moved on. But for some reason, it was like re-encrypting the same file like 6 times.
Yeah. So we had to write a script that would change the extension, decrypt it, check if it was still encrypted, then add the extension, decrypt it. If it was still encrypted, then do it again until it was finally not encrypted. It was just, I mean, it was like a bash script, but it was still like.
I wonder if the attackers built on that, or they're just like, screw it. If they clean up their code on the encryption.
That was Babook, right? So they hung up their spurs. So
that's right. Right.
So they're done, supposedly. I'm sure they've been recruited or created a new one now. So
yeah, they're like just shipping all of their computers to another country.
But speaking of new ransomware, did you read that about the Epsilon?
No, what's that about? What happened with
Epsilon Red is a new ransomware that hunts down unpatched Microsoft Exchange servers. So,
great.
So basically, anybody that was supposed to go through and update the Exchange server on the last huge vulnerability is now susceptible to this. I shouldn't say now susceptible, but now is being targeted for this new ransomware that basically goes in and just wreaks havoc on your Exchange system. So, the average is 4 Bitcoin. That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot for the average guy. Like, hold on.
Oh, no, 1 victim. I'm sorry. I misread that.
So let me get this. The last update that patched the other attack by Hafnium.
Yep.
That patch is now vulnerable to this new.
Well, yeah, that patch was always vulnerable to this stuff, but now that it's being targeted.
Oh, great.
Right. Yeah, because that other vulnerability allowed for anything, right? Anything the attacker wanted to do.
Yeah, but didn't that patch already fix that vulnerability?
Yeah, correct. Yes. So basically, you're just being lazy at this point if you haven't patched Exchange server.
Oh, I see. So as long as you patched it, you're good.
And you call that lazy. I call that job security.
That's so funny. I mean, yeah, that's beyond, I think, lazy. This is negligent at this point. If you haven't
It
patched
is
last,
actually negligent. Yeah.
and then there's this one, yeah, that's beyond being lazy.
Yep.
You're
Yep.
asking. I think if whoever made this new one, if you're out there, increase to 4 Bitcoin, put a 40, because whoever gets popped right now, I think that's really on you.
Yeah. It's also written in Go, apparently. The language Go.
Isn't that Google's thing?
Golang. I don't
Oh,
know. Is that Google?
I don't know.
But anyway, it's supposedly a little harder to detect. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like you said, at this point, I'm not saying you deserve it, but dude, this has been in the news repeatedly. We've done I don't know how many episodes of this. Like, patch your stuff,
Yeah,
get it
patch.
done. Like, how hard is it to just set auto update, or better yet, just host your exchange at freaking Office 365? Like, give it to Microsoft. Let them worry about it.
Yeah, just shove stuff in the cloud. That's why the cloud's there. It's no longer a
Yeah.
problem. But then, it's the thing I talk about and argue about all the time is like, then you have to trust the cloud service provider, which I mean, for the most part, yeah, they're good.
Right,
But
but then it's not on you. I
yeah,
mean, yeah, I know it still affects your business, but it's not on you. You like, as the business, if the customers are coming to you complaining that, whatever reason they can't get their emails, which they shouldn't be using Office 365. But anyways, you just say, well, sorry, Microsoft's the one that did me wrong. So
but as far as your business continuity, if your main infrastructure is in the cloud, would you have your hot site maybe in actual hardware, or would you also have a hot site in a second cloud, like maybe on a different
yeah, I
cloud?
would definitely have a DR site somewhere. I would have it offline or offsite, so probably in the cloud. But if you can afford it, have both. Have somewhere physical and local, and then also offsite and in the cloud. So,
Hmm.
and not local. I mean, I think, what is the rule? It's like 90 miles or something.
What is it? 90 miles?
I think you're
Oh,
supposed to, if you have like an extra site, it's supposed to be something like 90 miles. It's been a while since I did CISSP, so I don't know what the exact number is.
gotcha.
But I think it's something like that. And I think it has to deal with the original concept was nuclear bombs. like, like if you're
Is that
wondering,
how far it reaches? Is that a real thing? That's so
well,
funny.
I don't think it'd go 90 miles, but I don't know. I could
I
just
think
make
90
all
miles
of
is
this
safe.
up. Nobody listens to this podcast anyway. I'll just make everything up from this point
It's just for me and you.
on.
That's good. Well, speaking of things evolving and hackers, definitely evolving their ransomware and stuff like that. Check this out. So this new, I don't even know what it is. It's a cyber criminal group, attacker group, or whatever. They put a contest out, right? They have $115,000 prize contest to anybody that can come up with a new cryptocurrency hack. Yes, that's right. They are holding an open source style contest for anybody who can give them a really good way to start hacking and doing cryptocurrency on people's stuff. So how does that make you feel?
Sweet. Are they doing SHIB?
I know if they start doing SHIB, we're great.
Yeah.
If you people out there that are listening, you don't know what SHIB is, go research it, go find it, buy some,
Make us millionaires.
make us millionaires
And Doge.
in Doge.
What
But
the heck is NFT? Anyways.
that's another thing. Should we go down that or
No,
not?
no.
All right, now we'll
All
go
right.
down.
So they're trying to find ways of stealing cryptocurrency. Is that correct?
Yeah, so essentially, this is like a new way
Dang,
of
man.
saying, how can we hack it? Here's a contest, and whoever has the best research and strategy on how to do this will reward you $115,000.
So if they do that, does that, I mean, let's say they find a flaw or flaws. I mean, is that going to bring down this house of cards of cryptocurrency? Because how do you fix it? I don't know enough about the blockchain stuff to know, like, is it a quick fix that you just patch and you send out to all the other nodes, or am I even using the right terms? Because I don't know.
See, I don't know. I don't know if they aren't necessarily trying to hack the cryptocurrency itself from people, or trying to find ways to do new cryptocurrency, I don't know, attacks, if you will. I'm not sure.
Huh. Interesting. Oh, by the way, I looked up the U.S. regulations for a disaster recovery.
Okay.
The old number used to be 62 miles between data centers, I guess.
Okay.
But the new one is recommended 200 to 300 miles between primary and backup data centers.
That's interesting. I wonder what the increase was based on.
Oh, this article's in 2003. Dang, I'm way out of sorts. The new one is because bigger nuclear bombs. No, I don't know. I
I'm
don't know.
like, oh my God, is that a real thing?
I don't know. Most companies, though, I think have like an East Coast and a West Coast. So
Maybe to make sure you're not on the same power grid. Maybe.
that is probably actually the reasoning, is that so you're not on the same power grid. Yep, that's
Yeah,
actually probably 100% the
far
right
enough.
answer.
Thanks.
Yep, that makes a lot more sense than nuclear holocaust.
Or it could be one of those things. You remember what was it?
Sorry that I'm the Debbie Downer.
Ocean's 12 or 13, or which one was it where they had that like ginormous electromagnetic pulse bomb thing?
Oh yeah, that was the first one.
Was that the first one?
Yeah, yeah.
That was the cool one. I remember watching that when it went off. It's like, doof, and you just see it's like the rows of city buildings just shutting down. Like,
Yeah. That would like actually, because as far as I know, EMPs will like destroy anything that's online, right? Like any like electrical components that are powered on. So if that really did happen, like the entire strip would be destroyed, right? Like,
oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I wonder if something like that really does exist that big.
If it does, I'm sure they've developed it and have it ready to go for the next World War.
Because if you really wanted to cause a little chaos, I mean, this is the next best way without actually physically destroying anything, like buildings and such. Just I don't know, detonate an EMP. You've seen Matrix. Dang, that EMP took
Oh
out all those.
right, yeah, took down the entire whatever those things were called.
Yeah, it works.
We've
So
seen it in the
yeah,
Matrix. We know it works.
if it works in the
Stop
Matrix,
holding back.
and it worked in the Matrix,
Declassify
that wasn't the
the EMP weapons.
yeah. We're gonna get shut down by the FBI. And really, they know too much.
They're listening in.
Is it the FBI? What were we talking? Oh, this is great. Here, how about this? Our Echo devices, right? You
Yep.
heard this new thing about Amazon?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, how do you feel about it?
So I have a lot of Amazon Echo devices, and I started with one, and it was great because I could control my house. And then it evolved into, well, I kind of need one in every room. And so now I've got like them all over the place. I've got light switches that have Amazon in them, that have the Echo in them. I've got plugs. And when I mean like I have light switches and plugs, like I actually have, there's a speaker and a mic on the switch and the plug that you can talk to. So you don't even need the like Echo ball or
Oh,
dot or
you're
whatever
like
it's called.
really integrated.
Yeah.
It's like built
And
into your
as I'm talking, Echo right now is interrupting because she heard me.
because you said Echo. Is it
Echo,
just
stop. But yeah, they're definitely listening to everything we do. And I used to try and keep everything separate, right? Like I like to try to not give too much data to one single source, right? So Microsoft had some stuff, Google had some stuff, Amazon had some stuff, Apple had some stuff. I try to kind of keep them even so that nobody had 100% a profile on Matt
is,
Mosley.
is that like the old tactic of ripping bills up?
Yeah.
I would just like throw some in different trash cans.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. But
that-
now Amazon has way too much information. They know my buying history. They probably know my browser history, which is terrifying. They know what I talk about. Yeah, so who knows? They probably, if the NSA had a company, that Amazon would be it.
So now check this out. So Amazon, they want to make sure that their devices are constantly connected. So as a redundancy option for themselves, check this out. So now they're allowing their devices to share your internet with your neighbor. Right? So let's say you have your Amazon stuff and your neighbor has also Amazon stuff. Well, let's say your internet goes out. Well, fortunately, you can piggyback off of your neighbor's internet, a small chunk of it, right? It like gives you a little bit of the bandwidth just so your Amazon continues to work.
Lots of issues, first of all.
Yeah, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, not happy. Don't want to share my internet with anybody. Okay, number one. Number two, I don't want to share my neighbor's internet. Uh, Number three, if I pay a data cap, which I don't, but I used to, how does that affect me? Right? Like I'm sure it's like on a small scale, but still, I'm basically paying for my neighbors to have internet. Like, no thanks, I'm good. And I don't know what number we're on, but 4 or 5 or 7, privacy.
Oh yeah,
Just
there's
sounds like a huge concern. And I'm sure they've gone through, the
oh,
motions of making it more secure and protecting our privacy. Although I don't know, I don't think they really care too much about privacy. But yeah, I just can't see it being very beneficial, right? Like, I think the risk outweighs the reward here. So, oh, you forgot about Ring devices too. That's all
yeah,
Amazon.
it's everything. It's
Yeah,
their entire
cops get to go in and see that. Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
crazy. So I don't know. So now it's like part of it's like, okay,
So I guess I'm ripping out Amazon this weekend, is what you're saying.
yeah, you're not gonna need to, or maybe change half your devices. I don't know. Which one do you leave connected? Do you get a whole new separated network and just put your Amazon stuff on that maybe? So
I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. There's
yeah,
no real good open source tools either, I don't think.
so it's called Sidewalk.
Yeah.
It's Amazon's effort to build a long-range wireless network that leverages a combination of Bluetooth and 900 megahertz spectrum to help Echo, Ring, Tile trackers, and other Sidewalk-enabled devices to communicate over the internet without Wi-Fi. Like, I mean, I'm sure the security and like the technology is there, hopefully, but still, that sounds um, little shady.
Yeah. There's a Mycroft, which is like open source. I don't know how great it is. I'd be interested to know what everybody else says that listens to us. All three of you. Have you used Mycroft? What do you know about it? Is it good? But it's basically it's a open source local voice assistant that you can put in your network. So I imagine if it's not too hard, you could probably put this on a couple Raspberry Pis, and then you can create your own devices around your house. So
Oh, interesting. I type in Mycroft and it popped up Mycroft Holmes, a novel. Is a mystery novel by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
It's
That's so,
mycraft.ai, by the way.
that's so random. What is it? Mycraft?
Mycroft. MYCROFT
Oh, it's
AI.
AI. I see. So first
Oh,
on
they
Google.
have devices. Interesting.
Yeah. What is that? Interesting.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out in my free time.
So do we switch over? I have Google all up in my house. So I've already given up on I know Google knows everything about me.
Right. So that's one reason why I didn't do like the Nest. Right. I was like, I don't want Google spying on me, listening to me, but it's too late, man. They all
Oh yeah. It's too late.
again, I'll bring up this book called Data and Goliath. It's by Bruce Schneier. I think Schneier. I don't know. I'll get it right one of these days. Anyway, he talks about basically we're all peasants, you know, feeding our data lords, and it just depends on which lord you want to serve the most, which is like
Yes.
Microsoft, Amazon, Google, or Apple. I think those are the big ones,
Who do we
unless
have
I'm
in
missing any of them. But it's just
yeah.
incredible. Like, for example, I have one story that I always tell, but I was like talking on the phone to my brother a couple years ago about an old movie soundtrack. I'm not even going to name the name, but it was a movie from the 90s.
Okay.
And I thought it was really good, the soundtrack. And I get home and I go on Facebook and there's an ad for that soundtrack. Right now, this is like 2017. This movie came out 27 years prior.
Oh yeah.
The coincidence was just uncanny, right? And so immediately that day I removed Facebook. I was like, I'm done. Like, there's no way I'm going to have you listening to my phone conversations. So,
Dude, I'll take it one step further. The other day, I go to the market, right? I get this new pasta sauce that has like truffle in it or whatever, right? I take a picture of this and I send it to a friend via Instagram chat. Okay. I did not mention the name of this product or
Oh,
anything
it's
like
just visual.
it's just visual, right? It's just the image. And yeah, instantly. And then like she sends one back. She's like, oh, I have like the same stuff in this other flavor. I'm like, oh, cool. So it's good. I kid you not. I think like 30 minutes later, an hour later, I'm on my couch just playing on my phone, going through my Instagram, and boom, there's an ad for a whole like the entire brand, like line of
That's
that.
so ridiculous, dude.
I'm like, it took me a second, and then I thought, I'm like, did I mention it? Did I say it? And I'm like, the only thing is it's obviously scanning your pictures and your
Right. It's gotta
conversation.
be. Yeah. I've
100%.
uh I've done I've done I don't know how many talks on the future of technology. And I've always mocked like how the Internet of Things, like everything's connected and like how we don't need refrigerators connected to the internet and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I went and bought one.
You have a fridge that has a TV in it?
Yeah.
Oh, for
Not
sure.
only that, but I'll do you one better, Cash. It has a camera on the inside of the fridge
For what?
to tell you what things are in there. And then it puts together recipes and also tracks expiration dates.
How
I
well
don't
does
know.
it
I'm an idiot. Like there's no privacy for me whatsoever.
how well does it do that? Like, can it actually scan items in your fridge
It does not. You
accurately?
have to put them in manually, as far as I
Oh,
can tell, or maybe you scan the barcode. I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
no.
Like the guy delivered it. He opened up the door. And he's like, "There's a camera on this."
It's so
Well,
funny.
my kids love it because they can put YouTube on the TV on the fridge, so they can watch all the Mr. Beast and
There you go.
Preston.
Exactly
They
what
can they
it's
can
it
get
was
yeah
intended for. Yeah,
yeah exactly.
exactly what the sea of developers and coders were sitting there making sure the software worked for.
Yeah, and it also has a voice assistant on it called Bixby.
Okay,
And so
which
I'm
does
sure that
what?
one's listening in on like what items I need to buy for the fridge. So
What is the voices? Oh, you can tell it like, hey, I need more
yeah,
banana.
like I haven't used it yet, but I think you're like, hey Bixby, what's the temperature today? And then it'll tell you. So,
Hmm.
or hey Bixby, is my ice filter still good? Or my water filter or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, speaking of food, back on the topic here. Did you hear about JBS Foods, one of the biggest food giants in the country? Actually, I don't even know because I'd never even heard of this name until I saw the news
No
article, but
idea. Word
apparently they're
JBS.
huge. They're a big meat producer, I
Okay.
guess globally, and they were forced to shut down production because of ransomware that
Oh,
attacked
we did
them.
hear about this a couple days ago, right?
Yeah, Australia and also here in the US. So, or it says
That's
cyber attacks. I don't think they actually said it was ransomware, but let's just assume it was ransomware.
I mean, it says cyber attack. What else could really take you down? It has to be ransomware,
Right.
right? I
Well,
mean, nothing else really
Sony
locks
would
up stuff.
argue otherwise just because they had that full attack on, not too long ago where everything just was destroyed in their network, but wasn't ransomware.
Here it says meat buyers scramble after cyber attack. Hmm. I mean, they're a big company. These big companies, who were we talking to about a recent client yesterday or so, and about this same thing is like, well, can attackers really know about us? Do they, know how much we have? And I think the answer is yeah.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
know,
they get in. I mean, that's kind of their MO, right? Like that's
that's
what they
it.
all say they do is they get into the financial records, they find out how much they can get out of you,
Yep.
and then they squeeze.
And then they squeeze. So if the more you make money out there, companies, if you're listening, the bigger your company is, the more your income is, the more revenue you have, the bigger of a target you are, period, for these, ransomware attackers right now. And be expecting the bigger ransom request. We're talking Bitcoins nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. So many of them. We've seen it all. How many Bitcoins is the biggest one we've seen recently? Personally, I think
Oh, that got purchased as a ransom.
yeah, one of our cases.
The biggest I've seen was
Yeah.
what would be the equivalent of like 3 Bitcoin now. So it was like 100, or not now, but it was Now it'd be like 4 Bitcoin, but it was like 130K. So
Which I mean, still, doesn't sound like the biggest chunk of money, but it's still a lot of money, right? I mean,
a
if
lot
you're
of money for me.
flowing as usual, and then all of a sudden you have to cut $100,000 check to somebody just cause, just to let you continue doing what you were already doing,
And you're rolling the dice. Like
and you're really
you're betting against the house at 100, anything to try and get a decryptor that possibly works. If you even get a decryptor, right?
yeah.
We don't even know, like there's no guarantee you're gonna get a decryptor.
So yeah, ransomware is a big thing. Guess we'll leave it at that. There's a big demand around it right now to find out how ready you are for ransomware. Where is your environment? What would really happen if you do get popped tomorrow? So if you're not aware of that, if you don't know the answer to that question, definitely explore that route and find it, right?
Yeah.
Find the answer to that question. I don't know
Yeah,
how
I mean, we were having the discussion the other day talking about the perimeter, and everyone's like, "Well, the perimeter is dead. Like, we don't need to worry about the perimeter anymore. You just assume the attackers get in." I'm like, I mean, yeah, I guess with that attitude, like, I'd still would boost up my perimeter though. So, and security awareness, right? Because the number one thing is employees clicking on emails and links.
Yep.
But yeah, look into email security as well. Invest in that for sure. I would be investing in that big time. That and backup solutions,
Backup solutions,
endpoint protection.
endpoint protection,
Those three.
yeah, everything. And when we're talking backup, make sure your backup is not like permanently connected to your mainframe, so those don't get infected. Maybe have somebody physically backing it up every night. I don't know, offline somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, these are some of the things we're going to be discussing, right? As we plan out some of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely got to worry about backups now. I don't even know what the right solution is there.
Yeah,
It's all takes care and feeding. There's no like automated solution, So
at least for now, so the battle against ransomware continues. We'll consistently keep you guys up to date with the newest news as it comes out. And with that, I don't know, not much more I have for fine ladies and gentlemen who are listening to us today.
yeah, I don't have any more boring off-topic stories, so I guess we're good.
Yeah, I guess we'll save our off-topic rabbit hole stories for another time. But if you're still out there, if you're still listening to us, that one person, find us, hit me up, hit up Matt. We'll send you something cool as always. If you have any
The dollar steak guy, you probably have a better chance of getting stuff from Cash than you do me.
Yeah, hit me up. Don't worry.
I will try and get you.
It's funny. Yeah, so with that said, thanks for listening as always. Subscribe, like, shout out, hit us up with any questions, rude remarks, comments. We'd love to hear from you. And with that said, till next time.
See you later.